This is Brian.
And I'm Logan. And this is Tops.
Sup.
And this is Bottoms.
Sup.
And this is Trebles. Sup. Avocados. Oh, there was a ban list. I can't tell with this deck. Wow. And we're Crush Cards. Hi, team. Happy Tuesday. My totally A-okay, perfectly fine Tri-Brigades. Wow, we got a new deck profile, the 17th installment. Are you excited? I am.
So not only is this Tri-Brigade list going to be post-ban list, it is also going to be post-Megatins. I don't think we've ever done a deck profile in our entire lives where we have proxied cards. However...
I don't know what you're talking about. We totally didn't proxy any cards in this deck profile.
Very true. We totally got access to cards early. With that being said, yesterday was the official ban list for October and the last ban list of the year. So this is kind of how we're going to be playing Tri-Brigade until we get brand new support. Which, real quick, we just want to talk about the fact that the Lyralisk deck is going to get a ton of new support, which is probably why they hit the Zoodiac cards, left the Tri-Brigades alone, and also, you know, Megaton reprints.
Or because they saw that Logan was having a good time playing Pure Zoo and they were like, no, not today. No, nah.
That's probably realistically what it is. I mean, first Colossus, then Toad, now this.
I know, right?
Yikes.
Jesus, I just want to play Yu-Gi-Oh, my guy.
Regardless of that, Tri-Brigade did take 2 hits on the ban list with a ban of Barrage and putting Tenki 2-1. I do think that does hurt the consistency of the deck just a little bit, but we will go through the deck and showcase exactly how much it doesn't actually do.
With that being said, this is post-Megaton, so we are including Crossout Designator. I don't think it looks any different than Crossout Designator actually will look, so just don't pay attention to that.
We will talk about some of the deck choices and some of the things that we wish to change or may change as the format develops, but being super realistic here, the format's kind of already developed because it's last format.
Yeah, everyone basically just has to swap out like 3 cards in their decks, so yeah.
Ironic how there's 3 brand new mandatory staple cards coming out and there's 3 cards that everyone has to move out.
Yeah, it's weird that for Pure Zoo they took out our 2 Tenkies and our 1 Barrage. You know what's gonna be a 3 Crossout Designator? Wow, that's weird.
With that being said, let's just get right into this deck profile. But first, if you guys are not already a subscriber, feel free to go down, hit that subscribe button, throw this video a like,
And put in the comments saying happy birthday to my mom, because it's my mom's birthday. And tell her don't forget to bring the dip. Don't ask why, just do it. We also have an Instagram, it's at CrushCarsYGO. Feel free to come give us a follow if you want to interact with us a little bit more. We also have a super wholesome Discord community. It's absolutely bopping. I am super excited to announce that the custom ban list tourney will be taking place this Saturday, so you need to be in the Discord. If you want to know more about the custom ban list tourney, make sure you check out the community page and our Instagram, and basically just follow all of our streams. And then last but not least, if you want to support the channel, we have a Patreon. We've got merch, rewards, deck building, you name it, it's in there. Feel free to go check it out. It's a really great place, and we have the best stuff for you. But if not, that's okay. I'm just happy you're here to go through this 87th installment of Tri-Brigades with us.
With that being said, let's just get right into the list because not much has changed.
Wow.
So starting off, we're just going to do all the Tri-Brigades because literally, as I just said, nothing has changed. We are playing 3 Fractal, 3 copies of Nerval, 3 copies of Kit, and double copies of Arcaris. Just a little bit off center there, but literally, this is your sender, your entire play starter. This is your search card. This is just Foolish Burial, and this is your extender. I don't think these ratios have ever changed. I don't think they will ever change. You're now playing 4 Fractal instead of 6, which is honestly totally fine. We are not playing Foolish Burial, but just, you know, kind of to note that Foolish Burial could be a potential starter card if we do notice any consistency issues in the deck, which thus far, we really haven't, so.
People really wanted Fractal to go to 1, but I think we all knew it wasn't, just because the Tri-Brigade Lyralisk build that's going to be coming out with Synchro Storm at the end of October, they really want to get the most out of this deck, so hitting Fractal basically wasn't purposeful.
Also, shout out to every single rarity upgrade that this deck is going to get in the Megatins. We cannot wait to get those as well.
Yo, Nerval's going to be an Ultra. Shout out to Shiny Nerval, he's doing the most. Glad we got a Super just so we can get an Ultra a month later. Thanks.
Shout out to OTS 16 and all the firewalls we've ever pulled. And then moving on for our Zoo package, we are still playing the Zoodiac version. We're playing 1 Rat, 1 Ram, and 1 Thoroughblade. I want to talk about these ratios real quick, but I just want to just real fast. Last ban list, when Dryden got hit, everyone said that Zoodiac Tri-Brigade was the worst version of the deck. I think I was the only Tri-Brigade player in the entire freaking world who said Zoodiac Tri was still the best version of the deck. I'd just like to point out that I was correct, and I think moving forward until we get the Lyralisk stuff, the Zoo version is still just the strongest. It's just the best. Even though we don't have Dryden, even though we don't have Barrage, even though we don't have, you know, multiple Tenki, this is still just one of the best board breaking options that you can ever have because you don't need to activate anything to break a board. You just normal summon a Zoo, Borbo attack, boom, that's it. The whole game's over, you win.
Haha, board breaking, Borbo.
Wow.
I just thought that was funny, sorry.
So I will say we are on a little bit of a different ratio. We are playing 1 Rat, 1 Ram, 1 Thoroughblade. Thoroughblade is your draw card, Rat Pierre is your Foolish Burial, and then Ram is something I've actually been considering going back to, and I've just started testing it a while ago, and I think moving forward with cards like these and like with a new format, we're gonna see a lot more like imperms and veilers and stuff like that, and this just kind of helps you shut off the imperm interaction because, you know, imperming the Borbo really kind of hurts. So this allows you to still make a Zeus. You may not get as many materials, which is honestly kind of fine, but if you do play the Chaka 9 combo thing, it's really not that big of a deal. So I just wanted to test out 1 Ram. I will say, because we lost Tenki, I may consider playing 2 Thoroughblade, 1 Ram, and 1 Rat, maybe cutting like an Effect Veiler or something of the sort, but other than that, I still think the 3 is probably just the right number.
I know Thoroughblade's the horse of the Zodiac, but they should have, instead of calling him Thoroughblade, they should have called him like Nayblade.
Nayblade. Let it go.
Wrong game.
Into our hand traps or our going second package, we are still on triple copies of Ash Blossom and then triple copies of Nib in the main deck. This is honestly, I think Nib in the main deck has been like one of the changes I've made that I've enjoyed the most. A lot of people are playing Desires, or as I said, you know, may choose to go over to like 4 Zoos instead of 3. I think Nib in the main deck has been the most insane like powerhouse card. Game 1, it's insane. Games 2 and 3, it's even more insane. Like, this card is wildly underrated, and in the main deck, I think it really does just warrant a slot. Another reason we did those separately is because we have to talk about the 1 copy of Ghost Bell,
Weird.
3 copies of Effect Veiler, and then 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. The reason we are playing this weird kind of ratio is because we are trying to prepare for Cross-Out Designator. These are the cards that stop our deck the most. I do think Veiler may be a 2-of now, and Imperm obviously is just a better card because you can draw it as your 6th card and it's still live, whereas like drawing Veiler as your 6th card kind of stinks. So you want to have the most consistency as possible while playing a ton of interruption. With the Ash, the Nib, obviously the Ghost Bell is really good for your Cross-Out Designator plays, and you have the Veiler and the Imperm. This deck is just super resilient, and I think still probably just the best deck in the format.
Do you think you'd play 2 Veiler and 2 Bell?
I don't know. I honestly don't, like, maybe we side the other bells, but I really don't. Speaking of side deck, though, that will be up on Patreon along with test hands and combos and stuff later on this week, so check that out too. But as far as ratios, I think we still are playing a ton of hand traps. Like, this is a hand trap deck. We also have some other cards coming up in just 10 seconds that allow us to go second also, so just, I think this is the right ratio, and because these are the most impactful hand traps against most meta decks, including the new Bode strategies coming out, which are like the Sword Souls and the Flunderies, these are actually just really good, so you do want to kind of maximize out on them, and they are really good in the mirror match, so if you are playing a mirror match, you can just cross out these and still have multiple copies in your deck. So realistically, that's just the reasoning on these ratios, but coming up with the brand new cards and the brand new format, these may be subject to change.
Also, shout out to Verte. You didn't get banned.
Facts.
Feels bad, man. Anyway, moving on. Woo!
The other card that does help us go second is triple copies of Forbidden Droplet.
Ooh, Alti. Wow, what a pretty card.
I have chosen to play Droplet over Desires. I know a lot of people really enjoy Desires in the deck. I think it's a fine card. I really don't think that the deck needs it, because you do have a ton of way to turbo through your cards. You have a ton of search power, yada, yada, yada. But like, Droplet is really good, especially because, as Logan just said, they didn't hit Verte, they didn't hit Dragoon. We still have Tritron in the format with Ultimate Is. Like, this card is almost just mandatory, I feel like.
It's also just really good. Like, what more can we say? It's drop it, man. Like, it's good.
Yeah, and then like sending a kit or sending a Nerve Ball is just such a powerhouse in this.
God, I hate it. Anyway, moving on.
And then like self-explanatory, we're playing the 1-ofs. We're playing Called By in the 1 copy of Tenki now.
Yo, everyone thought this was getting banned.
Yo, I thought this was getting banned, but
Konami's wild.
Still, I mean, like, I don't know if we realistically need this. Maybe moving forward, because we're playing so many hand traps, we don't want to like Called By hand traps that we have in our hand so that they're like dead on the following turn. Maybe Crossout is just enough, but once again, moving forward, we will see how the format pans out and just with testing. So feel free to check us out on stream. Almost every night this week we'll be streaming, except tonight, I think.
Except tonight, it's my mom's birthday. Make sure you guys tell my mom happy birthday, and make sure you remind her to bring the dip. Oh my god, wish my mom a happy birthday in the comments, please. Thank you.
So yeah, just stop by stream sometime in the next couple days and we'll be testing this out. You can see, and you know, any changes, you'll see them live.
Moving on to our next powerhouse card in the deck, it is totally real. Crossout Designator. Yes, we somehow got access to it early by magic and science. Just kidding, we don't. I took some Noble Bennett crossouts and put a post-it note on it and wrote Crossout Designator, but it's basically the same card in its core.
Yeah, I mean, and realistically, like, this is just a powerhouse staple card that I do honestly believe every single deck will be playing at 3, at least the meta decks. Like, control, combo, mid-range, it doesn't really matter. Like, this card is just insane. It literally just says no. It tells your opponent,
So
Oh, you had interaction?
Ridiculous.
JK. No, you didn't. I will say, I think that cross-out designator here changes the way that we like build decks a little bit, and it definitely changes up the side deck 1,000%.
Oh, for sure. This card is really, this was the meta shift. The ban list was not the meta shift. People think that the ban list is the only thing that can really shift the way we play the game. Guess what? This card alone just did it. It's not always that. It's always the sets. There are powerhouse cards we have from the OCG, and this card is really going to make everyone's life a living hell.
Literally insane. So I think moving forward, this is going to be the main, as Logan said, meta shifting card.
Shout out to this guy. Hope you guys loved those little secret sneak peeks. I worked really hard on getting those from Konami.
And then moving off to our traps, we are still on triple copies of Solemn Strike, the 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Revolt, and the 1 not banned Imperial Order.
Revolt wasn't limited. I wasn't banned. I think this is just so hilarious.
This is actually pretty wild. So I will say most decks have dropped Strike, as I said, for either something like Droplet or Desires, or like some decks aren't really playing Strike, they're playing Desires instead. Once again, not really a huge fan of Desires. I think it does help the consistency of the deck. Maybe we will move to it in the upcoming format, but I really like just being able to like search a Revolt. You always typically have an Appaloosa at that point. You're playing a bunch of hand traps, like Strike is an interaction, Order is an interaction, Droplet is an interaction. So like even if you don't get to Revolt on your first turn, I think it's honestly like totally okay. A lot of people think that Revolt is the main strategy in this deck, which it is, but I think if played correctly, you can still stall for a turn or 2 and still be able to win the game without Revolt. So 2 Revolt is really good. You still have the potential to like drop, but you also just kind of want to search this card. And I feel like 3 is a little too bricky, and then Desires is like a little bricky as well. So like it is what it is.
Remember, the format just began, so we're all still working on our builds, but this is just kind of the baseline that we're going with. Extra deck time.
Literally nothing has changed in this extra deck. So
Wow,
flying,
I can't wait to see it.
we're playing the 1 copy of our Elmirage because it just gets our Kit and Nerval off field. The 1 copy of our Ancient Warriors.
I thought you said kitten, Nerval, like kitten, Nerval, like kitten, meow, kitten. Oh, Meow Mew got limited. That's
Yeah,
nice.
yo, shout out to Prank Kids.
Rip.
The 1 copy of our Bear Brum, aka Revolt, and then 2 copies still of our Tri-Brigade Bear Blossom.
Wow, that's a Starlight.
Yeah, those
oh,
are
it's
pretty
actually
fun.
2 Starlights. I just can't count. I'm sorry.
We are actually playing the 1 copy of Silver. I don't think I was playing this before, but I do think this has actually come up a bunch of times. This was Asa, but like as many times as I've gotten Contact Seed, the Asa isn't, like it doesn't really give you any value. As long as you have like a hand trap or 2 in your hand and you can still like play a little bit, your opponent has to clear like 4 cards at that point. So like I really don't feel like the Asa was that necessary. Maybe in like a pure Zoo build, but for this build, I really just don't think it matters.
He's gonna look so good as a rarity bump. I'm
I
so
can't wait.
excited, little guy.
We are playing the 1 copy of our Harris Hwelger.
Doombird.
Still double copies of Shreg, and then the 1 access code, and then the 1 Appaloosa.
Oh, but they're gonna limit Shreg and ban access code, man. It's gonna be so bad.
Yeah, they're not though.
They didn't. That didn't happen. Move on with it, as we will move on in this deck profile.
And then literally why this deck is still broken, we get to play Borbo. Like,
Whack.
this is the most insane card in the deck.
They should have hit Borbo,
They really
honestly.
should have just banned Borbo, or like limited Borbo. I think like limiting Borbo makes the pure Zoo strategy unplayable, but like it definitely doesn't hurt the Tri-Brigade deck. But
It's so strange. This list was so weird.
yeah, and then we are playing the 1 copy of Chakanine, just free link 2, the 1 copy of Tiger Mortar. It can kind of allow you to like play through like imperm if you do have your Ram and you like detach and you can like, you know, re-equip after, maybe, whatever. And then obviously the 1 copy of like the best card in the entire deck.
Wow, this deck really just has a lot going for it, does it? Do you need more win cons? I don't know.
I think that's honestly the issue with Tri-Brigade is like, A, it's a hand trap deck, B, it still has access to like Beast Warrior engines like the Zoodiac stuff that can put cards like Zeus on the board. It has access to like non-targeting banish. It has access to like Appaloosas, access codes with 1 or 2 cards. Like, I think they realistically just needed to curve this deck and its utility, not just 2 Zoodiac cards where you can still play the whole thing anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty whack. Tri-Brigade's gonna get real wild, especially with the new Leer list stuff. I don't know, it's crazy. I can't believe this deck didn't get hit, but I also am absolutely not surprised at all because it's the best deck. Have you heard me, Drytron? I hate you. But yeah, that's it. There's not really much to talk about here. We're not going to do a test hand because I feel like everyone has seen Tri-Brigade so many damn times. I really don't think we need to walk you through it. If you desperately need to see it, make sure you catch us on stream. We literally play this deck all the time.
Or just go like watch any event ever because it's topped all of them.
Yeah, that too. Wowee, what a fun deck. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, we will see how the format plays out, but this is just where we're starting. We figured a lot of you guys would want to see any changes that we made.
And if you are interested in seeing a Drytron updated list, I know we've never put one up, but like for brand new format, I've been playing Drytron for the, you know, at least the last couple weeks. Let us know. Put it in the comment section down below. I know a lot of you guys don't like to see Drytron, but like if you are interested in it, feel free to let us know. It's actually pretty fun.
Brian's the only one to ever say that. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. We love you. You matter. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye, team. Bye. 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 Oh, no, it's not bite, it's try. Try. Try brigade. That tastes so good. It's so ridiculous. Oh my god. Dance! I beat you to it.